today we're going to talk about something that I call be what you want to see. Now, you're going to need something to capture your thoughts on. So that might be a piece of paper and a mark maker of some sort, pencil, pen, crayon, marker, or even an audio device will work. Just something that you can capture your thoughts on. Okay, so maybe your phone if you have the ability to record on that, or even to write your thoughts and ideas. Okay. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second, for a few moments, actually, and I'm going to give you the reason why, and then you can do it. I want you to think about the hopes that you have for the children in your care. And maybe you are thinking about one particular child, or could be all the children in your care. And I want you to think about, what do I hope in terms of their emotional selves? That is, how they feel about themselves, what they understand about themselves, being able to identify their feelings, being able to label them, be able to regulate what it is that regulate their behaviors as a result of those feelings. And then I want you to think about what you hope in terms of their social selves, interacting with others, their relationships, the ability to communicate and work effectively with others. It could be, maybe I want children to feel a strong sense of self. I want them to have confidence. I want them to be able to see how incredible they are. Or maybe I want them to know how to interact with people in general in positive ways. I want them to be kind and loving, maybe inclusive of others. Like see somebody who doesn't have a friend, doesn't have somebody to sit with at lunch as they get older, and they invite that person over, to be inclusive instead of exclusive. Maybe you want them to develop meaningful relationships, healthy relationships, right? Be able to know what to do with conflict and to be able to move on and not let negative circumstances weigh them down. Personally, I want children to be resilient, to be able to get through life's challenges, and we all have them. And I want them to survive and also thrive. So not just survive, but thrive. So many hopes, right? So now I'm going to have you take 2 minutes, and I'm actually going to time us here, because if I tell you to pause the video for 2 minutes, you're not going to do it. You're just going to keep it playing, right? So I want to give 2 minutes, and I'm going to pull my phone out so that we actually can do the 2 minutes together. And I want you to write down anything that comes to your mind in terms of your hopes for the children or a particular child in your care. Okay? So 2 minutes, ready, and write whatever comes to mind, what you hope. Okay? Go. Okay, that's 2 minutes. Now I'd like for you to take a look at that list or listen to your list or however you recorded it. I want you to access that list. Now ask yourself, do I do these things? Do I show up in the way that I am modeling all of these things for children to learn from me? Do I honestly do these things? Maybe it was you wanted children to show up confidently, right, in life. Do you do that? If you want children to be loving and kind to others, do you do that? Think about your relationships with the people that you work with, the climate of the classroom, the setting, the environment. What's the climate like? What does it feel like to be there? Does it feel good? Does it feel positive? Do people work well together? Do they communicate effectively? Or is there an undercurrent of dislike, distrust, where people have a hard time communicating, or people are holding grudges or have resentment? Maybe everyone comes in with their own trauma. Maybe it doesn't feel so good, so the adults don't really talk in ways that are friendly to one another. See, children are allocentric. We used to think they were egocentric, but they're actually allocentric. This means that they're paying very, very, very close attention to everything. They notice things that you don't even know that they notice. And they're learning how to be in the world by watching you. Now, we all know that families are children's first teachers. But what you need to also know is that you are very, very, very important in the lives of young children. And we know that a safe, loving, and emotionally responsive relationship can have a huge impact. It can actually change the trajectory of someone's life. You have that power. We have research that shows that the long-term impact of these types of important relationships can quite literally change the trajectory of a child's experience in life. See, I come from trauma as a child, and I had some extended family and I had teachers. Teachers played a significant part in my life. They helped me feel safe. They saw my potential. They saw me, like truly saw me. They thought my ideas were good ones. And they helped me see my own potential. And they gave me opportunities to shine. They were the ones who showed me that there could be a different way of being. That people could be unconditionally kind and loving. So I want you to go back to that list, and I want you to take a look at that list again. And really, with an open, honest heart, I want you to answer the question, do I do these things? Do I show up each day modeling these very things with them and with those that the adults are in the room, those that you work with the administrators, with the families? Are you living this? Okay? So think about it. How do I show up each day? Because children are watching you, even when you think they are not. So I want to ask you, how do you manage your stressors? How are you handling your past traumas or even recent trauma or the trauma you might be experiencing now? How are you managing that? How are you healing from that? Are you being loving and kind and inclusive? Do you think about how you're interacting with others? Do you think about the relationships that you have with those that you work with, how you communicate and how you work through conflict? And are you okay once you work through the conflict? Are you being what you want to see? Because children are learning from you in many, many ways. And if the answer is no, and let's say it is not only you, but it's what's happening in the environment that you are in, then how will you make the changes that need to be made so that children can have the experience of feeling safe, secure, connected, and loved, and that they have the adults who are helping them learn how to be in the world by modeling those experiences to them? How will you make that happen? See you next time.